Episode of the Bitcoin Economy is brought to you in part by Ledden.
Need cash but don't want to sell your Bitcoin? Ledden is the global leader in Bitcoin-backed loans, issuing over 9 billion loans since 2018. And they were the first to offer proof of reserves.
With Ledden, you get custody loans, no credit checks, no monthly payments, and more. Visit ledn.io for more information. Welcome back to the Bitcoin Economy podcast. We are here in sunny / not sunny at all,
it's
Miami.
Freezing cold.
And I'm here with Jaime Leverton from ReserveOne, who's the CEO, former CEO of Hut 8. And we were just talking about Canada and how you moved Hut 8 over initially from Canada to the US. And we were talking crazy politics that are happening where all the money was in Canada initially, and now it's shifted back to the U.S., even though we are in a government shutdown still today.
Yes, unfortunately, we are still in a government shutdown, which means the SEC is broadly shut down. So files aren't moving, which is unfortunate for those of us that are in queue. But yeah, before we started rolling, we were just talking about, I spent most of my career working in Canadian companies. I'm Canadian. Ethereum was founded in Canada. We had a great ecosystem of innovators early in blockchain. Our capital markets were quite innovative. We had miners going public, Bitcoin miners in 2017, exchanges listing in 18. We had a Bitcoin ETF trading about 18 months before the US did. So we saw a lot of liquidity come to Canada to get access to the digital asset ecosystem through equities because we were very much leading. And now we've seen an inversion of that.
Yeah.
US obviously leapfrogged a bit with respect to regulatory clarity, Genius having been done, and then now with market structure, the Clarity Act on the table. The Trump government really, really pro-crypto, looking at the strategic Bitcoin reserve, the digital asset stockpile. And we've just seen capital formation really become dominant once again here in the United States, and the liquidity very much dominant for our ecosystem here in the US.
And with the government shutdown, in terms of the SEC opening things up, is it waiting for the full thing in, I think it's February or the end of January?
No, we expect whenever the shutdown is officially over, hopefully this week. I think there's optimism that it's sooner rather than later. Then the SEC goes back to work in full force.
ReserveOne, one of the most anticipated IPOs in the space, and can you just touch on it because it's unique? You guys have a different flavor on it. You guys come from capital markets. You guys are the suits that are coming into the place, right? Which I think is a good thing. I see a lot of these coffee companies buying Bitcoin, their Bitcoin Treasury company, and they're no longer around, right?
It sounds like code for how seasoned we are.
Right.
But no, all jokes aside, we are building something that's very unique and differentiated from anything else we see in this space. We're the only diversified digital asset treasury company. So rooted in Bitcoin, about 80%, expected to be about 80% of our assets held in Bitcoin, and then 20% in an alt sleeve inspired by what the Fed is going to maintain in the digital asset stockpile. So to begin with, expected to be Ethereum, Solana, ADA, XRP. For us, we weight our allocation to those assets based on their free float market cap and their ability to generate yield, because we will be active as well. So really trying to put the assets to work while we hold them on our balance sheet to generate returns in order to help cover some of the overhead of the company. And then we've also built in within the structure the option of allocating up to 10% of our AUM into high conviction venture opportunities within this space. So another way to give investors exposure to deals that they wouldn't normally be able to access. So really excited to bring the structure to market. We did announce a few weeks ago that we had confidentially.
This episode of Bitcoin Economy is brought to you by Crypto.com.
Crypto.com has millions of users, has been around since 2016. And they just released proof of reserves on their verification page, driving the industry standard for transparency within centralized exchanges.
Link in the show notes below. Download the Crypto.com app and get started today.
Filed our S4. So really excited to get the gears of government rolling again so that we can get through the rest of our process.
A lot of the treasury companies in V1 unfortunately have gone down 80, 90% in many cases, right? And if it's just purely Bitcoin, people are always asking that question, why not just buy Bitcoin, right? And I think you guys have some of that answer where you have that optionality to go out and buy some of these faster moving vehicles, as well as Just thinking about some of the startups, those long tails, right? You can hit those home runs. Has that been like tough? Like when you're talking to investors, seeing some of these treasury companies come down 80%, 90%. How has that narrative shifted and how are those conversations going today?
I feel very blessed that we structured something that wasn't, what was hot in the spring. We really built something in a way that's differentiated, and we were trying to be thoughtful about how we built the company and built the structure because we want to be here 3, 5, 10 years from now. It's very much a long term. And if you look at how we're building out the slate of directors that we expect to have on board, really looking for a mix of not just people that have been in the digital asset space, but really, deep Wall Street, deep Washington. We've got private equity. So really just a completely different structure that I think people are really excited about.
You guys consider yourself like a hedge fund where it's like active. You guys are able to buy and sell and take advantage of the price volatility, right?
Yeah, much more active. Obviously, cautious in how we do it. We're not looking for a regular rebalancing. We don't want to trigger tax implications, but definitely looking to put the assets to work in a way that I think is going to be unique in this space.
Yeah. And we're here at Cantor, right? It's like, this is made for you, right? It's crypto, energy, and AI,
yes,
right? So it's
all
a combination.
things I've done many times.
So
that's right.
What are you hoping to see? Like, I guess with the U.S., I know with AI, you need energy, right? And with Bitcoin, what have you taken from Hut 8 that you can bring to ReserveOne? And just overall at the conference, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's always great to see people in person. I think with COVID, we got into a bit of a Zoom culture. So being able to actually sit down face to face, shake hands, hug old friends, it's really, really nice. And the turnout here is incredible. The reception last night was absolutely packed. I felt like it was a wedding, just like hugging. But it's been amazing. I think, look, I really benefited sitting at the helm of Hut 8 for as many years as I did and really understanding investor sentiment, what people are looking for. A lot of that went into how we thought about building the structure and really creating a company that allows investors to get access to the upgrade of the system. So really exposure to TradFi, meeting digital assets, doing that full institutionalization for the first time, which is really exciting to be a part of.
Yeah. Anything I didn't mention today? I know we got the stimmies coming down the pipeline. I don't know if that will affect more of the altcoins that we're seeing. We need the government to open back up.
Yeah.
We were talking about the travel coming here. I lucked out, but a lot of the people, you hear these horror stories that they've been dealing with.
It hasn't been good. And I'm a commuter, right? My company's based in New York. My family's based in Toronto. So I live in airports, and it has gotten increasingly more painful over the last few weeks of the shutdown. So really looking forward to getting that behind me as well. I feel like I'm getting it on the personal side, and I'm very much a victim of this shutdown. But it's hopefully the end is in sight here, and everyone is excited to just build.
Yeah. Well, Jaime, thanks so much for coming on. Always a pleasure to talk, and very excited for the shutdown to end so we can get ReserveOne live and active. So appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. Thanks for having me. Always good to be here. Thanks, guys.
Got the Maserati dancing on the bridge, trunk popping till the coppers ha 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 ha. You can't catch 'em, you can't stop 'em. I go by them boom rules. If you can't beat 'em, then you pop 'em. You can't man 'em, then you mop 'em. You can't stand 'em, then you drop 'em. You pop 'em, 'cause we pop 'em like over red and vodka.